afternoon, viewers who just came in. Welcome! My name is Natalie from Mindchamps Malaysia, and I will be your host for this session. Today, we will be touching upon an important topic that I'm sure weighs heavy on the back of all our minds, especially parents with younger children, and that is how do we keep our child's eyes healthy? With the ongoing pandemic and the shift to online classes and working from home, staring at the computer screen, sad to say, has very much become a part of our everyday lives. It's a reality that we cannot run away from and thus must face it head on. But how exactly do we do that while still ensuring our children's eyes are protected? Today, we are honored to have optometrists Miss Carmen Tam and Elaine Luke here with us, and we'll be seeking advice from these experts in their field. Let's learn more about them first, shall we? First up, we have Miss Carmen.
Hi, Natalie. Thanks for
Hi, Miss
having me.
Carmen.
A very
All
good
right.
afternoon to our dear parents, teachers, and audiences today. It's my pleasure to be speaking to you all today. To introduce myself, my name is Carmen. I am a graduate in the Bachelor of Optometry, and I'm currently practicing as an optometrist, also the Center Manager for Vista Eye Specialist in Petaling Jaya and Kepong Branch.
That's great. Thank you for being here with us today, Miss Carmen.
My pleasure.
Next, we have Miss Elaine with us. Miss Elaine, are you there?
Hi, Miss Natalie.
Hello.
Hi, Carmen. Good afternoon to both of you and all the audience here. My name is Elaine, also an optometry graduate from University Kebangsaan Malaysia, currently based in Vista, JB. Thanks for having me today also.
Wow, thank you both. As this is the first time Mindchamps Malaysia is collaborating with Vista, we're very, very excited. So let's just have educational fun, shall we? All right. To start off, perhaps we could get an insight into the paradigm shift that has occurred through the eyes of optometrists since the start of the lockdown due to the pandemic. How significant exactly is the increase of a child's screen time compared to before?
Yes, indeed. The ongoing pandemic has definitely changed or impacted many of us, changing many ways of how we used to do things and, of course, our lifestyle. As much as the adults are adapting to many new changes, our children are equally affected as well, especially when it comes to coping with their academic and lifestyle changes, which now involve a lot more screen time for the past one and a half years. An internet user survey published by the Malaysian Communication and Multimedia Commission last year in year 2020 has reported the number of children aged between age 5 to 17 years old who use the internet has increased from a percentage of 18.4% back in year 2016 to up to 47% just in year 2020 itself. So this massive rise of numbers, which is about 2.5 times the number of children who use the internet during the pandemic year. So what does this data tell us, and what is the impact of the rise of internet usage among children? The increase of screen time has led us to one phenomena known as the myopia boom. Myopia, in another word, is commonly known as short-sightedness, which I believe many of our dear parents here are very much aware of this term. But if you don't worry, I'll explain in detail shortly. So myopia boom is the sudden surge of myopia phenomenon among children, which was noticed significantly, especially during the pandemic year. And this is noticed more in the Asia countries such as China, Hong Kong, South Korea, Singapore, and even in Malaysia. So as you can see on the picture above, you can see that the annual myopia incidence reported before the pandemic year was usually at about 12%, which makes up to about 1 out of 10 children being diagnosed with myopia. However, during the COVID era, the myopia incidence has shot up to 30%, and this has given rise to 3 out of 10 children are now suffering from myopia. This again shows a 2.5 times rise in myopia incidence as an impact of excessive screen time usage during the pandemic time. which also correlate us back to the numbers which I have presented earlier in terms of the increase of internet usage and also screen time usage among children. Okay, now, so there is a lot of studies which is done according to this myopia boom. So now we are figuring which are the age group among children which are most impacted from the excessive screen time. The myopia incidence and trend during the pandemic were studied among children of different age groups in one of the recent studies done in China. And the studies has reported a 3 times rise in myopia incidence among the children of the age at 6 years old. There's also a 2 times rise in the children aged 7 years old and about 1.4 times rise of myopia incidence in children aged 8 years old. Now that we have spoken a little bit on some facts and also studies relevant to the topic, let's jump right into what are the possible eye problems our children may face with the excessive amount of screen time. First of all, the first eye problem, and in fact one of the most important eye problem induced by excessive screen time, is none other than what I have emphasized a few times earlier, a refractive error in the eye known as myopia. Myopia is also known as short-sightedness, and it is the changes in the eye power due to the elongation of our eyeball. Excessive screen time or any near work will cause our eyes to focus and also will induce more convergence when our eyes is focusing at our materials, and this will cause elongation of our eyeball during the near fixation. Okay, so we can see this picture shows a comparison between people with normal eyesight or with a normal eyeball length to people with myopia. The light entering our eye usually will focuses on the back of our eye. There's a layer called the retina layer, which is colored in orange, as you can see on the picture, and this will give rise to a clear picture that we see. However, in people with myopia, the eyeball tends to elongate longer than the usual size, and hence when the light enters into the eye, it may not be able to focus on the retina layer, causing blurred vision at distance to our children. So we might be wondering, there are a few category of myopia. So myopia is usually categorized to either low myopia, moderate, or high myopia, and there is a different risk related to myopia as well. The higher your child power, the higher the risk for their eyes to develop other eye problem or other possible eye diseases such as cataract, glaucoma, retina detachment, and myopic macular degeneration. As you can see on the diagrams here, these are the 4 possible eye diseases that you may see associated with the risk of a high myopia power. Hence, I can't emphasize enough the importance of preventing myopia or even start to control the myopia power at a young age. Now, we have talked about the first eye problem. Moving on, the second eye problem, which may be faced by our children with excessive screen time, is the difficulty in focusing. As we are all spending a long hours of screen time or a long hour of near work, our child eyes focusing system will most of the time be overworked, just like our muscle, and it will reach a point where it experiences spasm. So during this excessive focusing, our eyes will tend to temporarily lock up the focusing system, and this will lead to a transient blur vision in our children. Now, the third eye problem associated with excessive screen time is dry eyes. This is actually a very, very common eye problem that we always face in our practices. Is a children come in with dry eyes problem. Dry eyes used to be a disease that we only see in elder people or working adults or even the elderly age group, but nowadays it has been very common among children due to the excessive usage of screen time. We usually blink our eyes for about 14 to 20 times per minute. But what happens when we are focusing on our screen? Our eyes blinking will reduce to about 4 to 10 times per minute. And this will give rise to dryness because our tears will evaporate very fast. And this also might cause irritation to our child's eye. Now, last but not least, The other common eye problem related to excessive screen time is what we know as digital eye strain. And the usual complaints of digital eye strains are usually eye fatigue and headache. By overstraining our eyes, it will cause tiredness around our children's eyes muscle, and some may even lead to pain around their eyes area, and eventually it will lead to headache.
Miss Carmen, is that why I've been blinking excessively recently?
Yeah, I guess so. If you're spending too much time on screen time, that must be it.
Oh no! Anyway, thank you so much for sharing. That was very informative, and I'm sure the viewers watching us right now feel the same as well. Now, you may be concerned at this point with all the eye problems listed by Miss Carmen, but don't worry, okay? They are experts in their field and they have very good tips for us to prevent said eye problems from manifesting. So let's listen to some good advice now.
Sure. Now that we are more aware of the impacts of excessive screen time on our children's eye, but we also know for a fact that the pandemic is still with us and screen time is still required on a daily basis in our children in order for them to keep up with their academic progression, right? So what are some of the best practices that we should do while we are using devices? As a parent, we need to always restrict excessive screen time for leisure activities. If your child is already occupied the whole day with virtual learning and online assignment, we need to strictly reduce their screen time to using gadgets for videos and games to less than an hour a day. While they are engaged on the screen for a long day, try to be mindful of taking short breaks in between screen time. We can encourage our children to always walk away from the screen for at least 10 minutes every hour by asking them to probably go get their drinks or probably go to the balcony, take a breather, and they can even also do some simple stretching in between. Now, the third tip is to remember to always blink their eyes. Blink, blink, blink away, just like the icons you see here. They can easily practice this, especially during their screen time breaks. So another way that they can do is to use a moisturizing eye drop, which is also known as the artificial tears. This is actually very helpful in lubricating the children's eye if they are having dry eyes. And parents, don't be worried. This eye drop is very, very safe for children to use, and it is non-medicated. Or another way is to have a room humidifier in your space. So this will be able to help reduce the dryness. Lastly, the fourth point is also to consider having a blue light filter. We can consider applying a blue light filter on our children's glasses, the desktop monitor, or even our devices by using the digital screen coating. This coating is easily available in the market nowadays, and it is very helpful in terms of preventing excessive blue ray emitted from our devices into our eye, which may also cause more harm in the future. And last but not least, the last tip is to always remember a very comfortable and good screen positioning and posture. I think it is very important for us to place our screen slightly below our eye level so that we can see the screen comfortably, and also always bear in mind the rule of 1 to 2 to 10. So what rule is this? See, this is actually a very healthy working distance rule for your screen. So if let's say you're using your mobile phones, try to put it 1 foot away. And if you're using your desktop or laptop devices, try to put it 2 feet away. And say if you're using a TV screens or larger screens like projector, depending on the screen size, try to put it at least 10 feet away. So this is actually a very useful tips in terms of placing your devices. The third thing, what you can do if you're on the screen, we can also adjust the font size to twice as big. So this is to prevent our children from overstraining our eyes when we are trying to focus on very small fonts. And lastly is to always sit upright and always remind our children to not hunch their back while we are focusing on the screen. These are some of the best practices sharing from me. And of course, aside from all this, there's also one and very important tip to be shared by my co-speaker today, Miss Elaine. Welcome, Elaine.
So as we know, we know that the healthy eyes with good vision is very important in kids' development. So it is crucial for parents to take care of the kids' eye just like the rest of our body parts. So moving on, I will introduce the SMART rule, which comprises of these five key elements, which can help our children in maintaining their good eye health and ensure that their vision is functions fully as well. So these five key elements are rest, sleep, and the vegetables. For are reduce handphone and tablet usage, and last one key equality. So without further ado, I will move on to the first element for today. That is sleep. So in order to keep our children's vision clear and sharp, we need to advise them to get enough sleep. Kids between 5 to 17 years old are encouraged to have at least 9 hours sleep per day because during sleep, our eye cells are restored and these healthy eye cells can lead to healthier eye functions, for example, like improve our eye lubrication and give a better vision. So if our children lack of sleep, they might experience some of the symptoms like dry eyes, eye fatigue, or even difficulty to focus in the daytimes. Apart from that, we need to avoid stimulating activities or playing on mobile devices before sleep to ensure they have a good sleep quality. So the next element is more fruits and vegetables. I know that a lot of children don't like eat fruit and vegetables, right? But definitely this is without doubt the best way to kickstart with our good eye health. As our kids still underdeveloping, so they need the proper nutrients to make their sense of sight become as sharp and as functional as it should be. As a parents, we can provide some diet containing of green leafy vegetables, some non-meat proteins like eggs or nuts, deep water fish like tuna or salmons, and variety of fruits. So actually the healthy diet that can help our kids' eyes in two ways. First, it can prevent the premature damage, for example, like vitamin C and E. It can help to repair the broken tissue and also strengthen the resistance against the infections. Secondly, it can help our kids away from obesity. Obesity can lead to an eye damaging complications like diabetes. So kids, start today. Please have more fruit and vegetables in your daily meals. So moving on to the third element in SMART rule is active outdoor. I know that kids today spend many hours indoor working on digital devices and doing a lot across our world. So it is very important to engage them with a lot of outdoor activities at least 10 hours per week to prevent the progressions of their short-sightedness. So when our kids are outdoor, it can help the development of their visions by exposure to different proximities and colors in natural light. Apart from that, sunlight can also stimulate the release of our hormone dopamine. This hormone is important to slow down the growth of the eye. Thus, it can reduce the development of the myopia. Actually, according to study, it shows that children who spend at least an hour outdoor can reduce the risk of getting myopia by 14%. It's quite a significant number. So moving to the next is reduce handphone and tablet usage. I know that all the children are doing their online classes under this pandemic, but we can't deny that staring at the computer for long hours can lead to a lot of eye problems like eye strain, blurry of vision, focusing problem, dry eyes, and even headaches. So parents, we need to reduce or limit the screen times after their online classes and even an hour before their sleep. Actually, the blue light emitted from the screens can disturb or suppress our hormone melatonin. This hormone is responsible in controlling our wake and sleep cycle. So with the suppression of this hormone, it can lead to insomnia problem and our kids may complain of tiredness on the next day. Parents can set a screen-free zone. So what is that? Means we can remove all the electronic gadget from their bedroom before sleep. Last but not least is our T 20-20-20 rule. I know that time is always a big issue for our parents, right? So it is very important for our children to follow this rule. That is, after about 20 minutes of their screen times, they are advised to take a 20 seconds break to look at distance about 20 feet away. This is an essential step to relax their eye muscle and also to prevent the eye strain problems. During this 20 seconds break, your kids is advised they can get up from their seat, either they can go washroom or even get a cup of water to drink to get themselves hydrated. Parents can also set a time reminder for your kids every 20 minutes to remind them have their eye to rest, to blink or whatever, just take a look at distance. So I hope that by following the SMART rule, we can help our kids in maintaining their good eye health.
Not proud to admit, but I'm extremely guilty of back hunching while using my laptop. But yes, the smart rule. I
Yes,
personally
actually you can
really like.
practice this also.
Yes, that's right, Miss Elaine. I personally really like the 20-20-20 rule, as it is easy to remember and to carry out as well. So thank you very much, Miss Elaine.
Yes.
Okay, I have a question here. Okay, this is a personal question. How would I
Mhm.
know if I already have one or some of the eye problems listed just now? Are there obvious symptoms that the parents and I can look out for?
Yes, definitely. Actually, a lot of parents might be asking the same question. They might ask us how I know that my kids having some eye problems. Yet, in fact, we can know it by noticing some of the signs and symptoms like some kids like to tilt their head to one side or covering their one eye because they are trying to adjust the angle of vision to have a clearer image. Some kids tend to sit very close to the TV or even holding their reading material very close to their eye points. Some older kids, they might have complaints or headaches or eye pains, especially at the end of the day. They might trying to focus by overexerting their eye muscle from looking at screens. So these can be the possible signs and symptoms that your kids having some refractive error problems, either in myopia or astigmatism. Some parents can also notice that whether their kids' eyes are misaligned, either they are turning inward or outwards. This can be an indication that your kids having the screen eye problems. And if you notice, a lot of children like to rub their eyes excessively. That might experience some of the dry eyes, irritated eye, or even some eye allergy problems. So if the parents or teachers notice any of these signs and symptoms, please do not hesitate to bring them to the eye center for the thorough checkup.
I see. Squinting and dry eyes. They may seem common,
Yes,
but now we know they could possibly lead to something else. So, are there
yes,
any
correct.
approaches parents and teachers can take on to help maybe prevent or perhaps maintain the health of our children's eyes?
Yes, Cam. Parents is always a role model for our children, right? So we need to take extra steps to protect their eyes and also to help them maintain their good eye health. Like we can set an example by practicing the healthy habit for our kids to follow. It's very simple. For example, we can just put aside all our handphones or mobile devices during our meal times, so we can be in that moment with our family members. Second, we can change our phone password frequently to avoid kids from using our handphone. This is very important. Never reward your kids with extra digital screen times because it may worsen your kids' vision problems. And next one, always take notes of the signs and symptoms that I mentioned earlier, like squinting their eyes or any abnormal head posture. And for sure, the last one, always check in with teachers for any abnormalities in class, like some kids like to rub their eye or sitting very close to the monitor during their online classes.
I see. Thank you, Miss Elaine. Carry on. Okay. Oh, okay. I just saw the slide change. Thank you. All right. Shall we bring Miss Carmen back to highlight some of the takeaways from our session?
Hi.
Welcome back. All right. Let's wrap it up.
In fact, I just want to do a summarize on this. Optimal vision is always an essential in our kids' learning process. So it's very important to do the routine vision screening because the earlier the eyes problem is being diagnosed, the earlier the treatment is given, definitely the better the outcome for their vision. a lot of all these eye problems, in fact, they are treatable if we are discovered it earlier. But if it is left untreated, it can lead to vision impairments and even blindness.
I think from my side, I would also like to emphasize again on the importance of knowing the possible side effects of excessive screen time on our kids' eyesight, also understanding the risk in long term, and most importantly, to take action today by practicing the tips we have shared, and also do not neglect the importance of the eye examination as per explained by Miss Elaine earlier.
Very, very true. Well, I'm sure our parents and viewers have learned a lot from this full session, but let's also take some time right now to answer some of the burning questions from our viewers in our comment section. Shall we take a look at the first question?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Let's see. There's one here from Chin Ching Tan. If I suspect my child have vision issues, do I bring her to check at optical shop, or should I go to an optometrist or eye specialist or a doctor? Miss Carmen, do you want to take this one? Then we'll take turns with Miss Elaine as we go.
Sure. Yeah, usually for us, we will usually advise kids, especially who are below the age of 12, if they have any vision issue or visual symptoms, they should actually visit an eye specialist first, because there are certain diagnostic examinations which can only be carried out in the specialist setup. And this is very important for us to do a comprehensive eye examination for the kids before we prescribe them with any glasses or any treatments. So yes, it is very important to go to an eye specialist first. If their power has been stable, then they can go back to the optical shop to make their glasses, or for their power checking in between their visits to the eye specialist.
I see. Thank you for your question, Ching Ching Tan. Let's take a look at another one. This is from Aina. Is prolonged exposure to digital devices the major reason for myopia or eyesight problems in children? Are there any other factors that may cause it? Miss Elaine, do you want to take this one?
Sure. Okay. First of all, for this myopia problem, is caused by two major factors. The one what we call is the environmental factors, and another one is the genetic factors. For environmental one, definitely it include the prolonged exposure to digital devices, and they'll use it at a very close distance. And for the inherited or genetic problems, it's like if the parents have these kind of myopic problems, most probably their kids will having the same genetic of having the myopia, especially for those that having high myopia, let's say more than 600 diopter, 6 diopter, the kids will having the chance of getting myopic by 30%. So it's very important for them to have a routine checkup if the parent having the myopic problems.
Okay, parents with myopia, let's take note. Do ensure to bring your kids for an annual checkup if both parents have myopia too. This is from Steffi Chu. There's a myth saying once children start wearing glasses, then power will increase and they will be wearing glasses forever. Is that true? Good question.
Okay, maybe I'll take this.
All
I
right.
think this is a very good question. A lot of parents come to us saying that, I don't want my kids to wear glasses because their power will keep going out and out. And I want to clarify again, this is a very, very wrong perception towards wearing glasses. I would like to say it is very important for our kids to wear their prescription glasses once they are being diagnosed from the doctor that they are having a certain power, because this will help them to see clearly. Ultimately, we want to prevent them from getting lazy eye or to have any impactful side effects from not being able to see well. And that's why this myth is actually wrong. It is very important for them to start wearing glasses when they need to, and their power will not increase because of wearing glasses. Their power will increase because of the elongation of their eyeball, as I think I have presented earlier, and this is part of their growing process. So yeah, parents have to take note on this.
Right. This myth is wrong, parents. All right. This is from Capture. Can moisturizing eye drops be used for children of any age? Miss Elaine?
the moisturizing eye drop or what we call the artificial tears is safe for children to use. Why? Because first, this is not a medicated eye drop, and artificial tears, right? They are made from this pure saline that is harmless to our kids' eyes. And I think that they have a lot of artificial tears in the market, but normally we will recommend the artificial tears without the preservative that come with individual vials on daily disposable basis. But one thing is that if your children the problem doesn't go away after we applying this eye drop, you may need to seek the doctor advice for further diagnosis and further treatment on the underlying causes.
All right. So artificial tears without preservative for kids. There you go.
Yes.
This is from Double Dose Aina. Will rubbing dry eyes cause them to be more irritated?
Okay, I think
And
dry eyes will definitely lead to eye irritation. So when a kid is experiencing dry eyes or irritation on the eyes, they will tend to rub their eyes. So by rubbing their eyes, it will actually induces some other complications to the eye, or we call it side effects. Some kids, if they do prolong eye rubbing, it will cause redness on their eyes, or sometimes even scratches on their eye surface layer. And most importantly, it will also induces astigmatism power on the children's eye. So that's why if you are having dry eyes, or if you notice your children is having dryness on their eye, try to avoid them from rubbing their eye. Use the artificial tears as mentioned by Miss Elaine, or also seek help from the professionals.
I understand some of us may rub our eyes just purely out of reflex due to like itchiness that hits us, right? Yes,
Yes.
but let's try our
and I
best
think this
to
is
refrain from doing
yeah
that.
this is
Yes, Miss
quite
Elaine.
this is quite a natural reaction.
Right.
I think this is even adults this is like very naturally reaction when they encounter some dry eyes or irritated eye problem sensation will go away, but actually it's not.
Right. Thank you, Miss Elaine. All right. If you have more questions, please ask us the questions and we will answer them. No worries. Okay. Don't be shy. This is from Chris. Is it necessary to bring my child for full eye checkup before entering preschool? What's the minimum age for a child to be able to perform a full eye checkup? As a parent, I'm worried my child has short sightedness and is unable to focus during class. Oh, Miss Elaine, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, sure. Normally, we will advise the kids like roughly about 4 to 5 years old. They can start to go to the eye center for the, full checkup for it to diagnose whether there is any like short-sightedness, astigmatism in their kids' eyes. And one important thing, like what we mentioned earlier, also, if the parents having these eyesight problems like high myopia or anything, definitely we advise them to do the eye checkup even before they are entering the school. The important is that the kid is able to like cooperate with us during the eye check.
Right.
I think one very important tips to share to the parents before bringing your kids to an eye check is to probably you can start prepping them mentally about the procedure. They are going to see a doctor. Some eye drops will be instilled onto their eye, and it's going to be fun, so that the kids come in prepared. I think this will be very very helpful, especially with the younger kids who are probably around 5 to 6 years old. But overall, the process is not painful, and the kids will be able to cooperate most of the time unless they are too young.
I
Yes, exactly.
see.
Some kids even they will enjoy the process of checking the eyes, because we will check them.
That's
It's like
good.
yes, it's just like the playing, make fun with them. Before like we checking for the visions, we will like make friend with them first. So no need to worry about bring your kids for the eye center to have a comprehensive eye checkup.
All right. This is from Afika. She says, "Hello there. Can I know how often should I bring my child to an optometrist for a routine vision screening?"
Okay,
Yes,
I will answer this. I think
sure.
for kids above 5 years old, we do recommend them to come in for an eye check annually if their eyes are perfectly healthy. Otherwise, if let's say we have diagnosed them with a certain problem, or that they have myopia and they require frequent follow up, then we advises them to come in every 3 monthly to 6 monthly, depending on the condition of their eye.
Right, 3 monthly to 6 monthly. Got
Yeah.
it. This is from Aina. Are there any specific types of fruits or vegetables that you would recommend to improve a child's eye health? I like this one.
Um, yes, I think our answer for these questions is interesting. Normally, we will recommend the green leafy vegetables like broccoli or spinach, which contains of these routine zeaxanthins. Actually, these are the potent antioxidants that can help us to neutralize the free radicals that is harmful in our body or in our eyes. Then for fruits, normally we will suggest those citrus fruit like orange or lemons and even some berries because these fruit containing high ingredient of this vitamin C, which can help strengthen the kids' immune system and also prevent them from the infections.
Mm, that's good to know. Thankfully, most of my young students love broccoli and all sorts of berries. So that's
Oh
good
wow,
news
that's
for
Yeah,
me.
great to know. Yeah, good news.
I saw from the video, yeah, the kids over
Yes.
there eating a lot of fruit and vegetables.
Yes. Oh. Ah, this is from Zarin. Are younger children more prone to myopia as compared to older children?
Yes, definitely. Just now I have shown a statistic or a study done in China. You can see that the progression of myopia is in fact faster in a younger age. Children with younger age, actually their eyeball is still growing or elongating. That's why their tendency of getting higher myopia or to have a faster progression of myopia is more significant than the older kids. So it is that's right. A younger children is more prone to having myopia, and we should start preventing them from happening. And we can also do something to control this from getting too high.
All right. So younger children more prone. Got it. This is from Mei Tang. Kids also will have dry eyes or al- allergic. I guess she means like eyes that are more prone to allergies. Yes.
Yes, definitely. The dry eyes or allergic eye is that. I mean, is no matter you are a young age or even you are adult or elderly, you are having this kind of dry eyes and allergy eye problems because some kids, right, they're born with all these allergic problems like the SLE or like some even have sinus problems. Actually, all these can link to the dry eyes and allergy eye problems. So if parents notice like they have a tearing in their eyes or they have a redness on and off, please bring the kids for the to the eye center for the routine checkup. Because some kids, right, they're having a severe dry eyes or allergy, they need a medicated eye drop for them to treat the underlying problems.
All right. So no matter young or old, it's good to be
Yes,
aware,
correct.
right?
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
This is from Sue Thing. I know at an eye specialist, they will put eye drops to dilate the eyes. Is this harmful to a kid's eye? Oh,
Oh, this is a very, very important question. I think many parents should be very curious about this. For most of you here who doesn't know what is the dilation eye drop, it is actually an eye drop used in the eye specialist setup to enlarge the kid's pupil or to also relax the eye muscle so that we can conduct a very comprehensive eye examination on their eyes and also to come out with a very stable and consistent power for their prescription purpose. So this eye drop will have a effect of having them not being able to focus clearly at their nail work. Usually this effect will last probably about 4 to 6 hours. Some kids might even be up to the next day. But don't worry, this side effect is very short term, it's temporarily, and it will not cause any harm to their eyes. It is more of just relaxing their eye muscle. So that's why they can't focus their near distance so well after the eye check.
all right. So it's not permanent. Don't worry, viewer. Thank you for your question. This is from Christy Ong. Can excessive screen time also cause long sightedness? Ooh.
I think I can take out these questions. Like what Carmen mentioned earlier, right? Actually, excessive screen time will cause the short-sightedness, which means the elongation of the eyeball. And long-sightedness is the eyeball shorter than a normal size. Normally, the long-sightedness is caused by the genetic factors. So excessive screen time will cause short-sightedness, or what we call the myopia. It is not the long-sightedness.
All right. So short-sightedness instead.
Yes.
From Monica Wong. At what age kids can start wearing contact lenses?
Interesting. I think back then, at our time, contact lenses is only common when we are older, right? But nowadays, you can see a lot of kids starting to ask about contact lenses, or parents want to put contact lenses on their kids' eye, right? So, but to us, the safest age to start contact lens is when the kids are fully conscious or fully aware about the importance of taking care of the hygiene of using contact lenses. So as long as they are still young, we do encourage that, because the risk associated with contact lenses, complications such as eye infection, redness on the eye, the eyelid being scratched, all this will cause a more impactful effect on the eye. And that's why we only encourage kids to start wearing contact lens once they are a bit older, probably possibly 16 or 18 and above, when they are a bit more matured and they can actually take care of the hygiene better than when they're at a younger age.
All right. So a little over 16 years old, yeah? Okay. This is from Jason. My child has been squinting more when trying to read or look at something. Is this considered a sign of myopia?
Yes, definitely. This is one of the signs and symptoms of myopia. First, myopia is for those children like they were seeing blur vision at distance. So they will try to adjust the angle of visions in order to see clear by squinting the eyes, or like um, close their eyes partially in order to see clear. So all these abnormal like head posture or behavior is a possible sign and symptoms of the myopia. So if parent notice one of it, please bring them for eye checkup.
There you go. Please bring your child for an eye checkup just in case. Oh, this is from Wang. What causes lazy eyes?
Okay, so lazy eye is a condition whereby one of the eye, or possibly both eyes, are not seeing the sharpest the child should be able to see. Meaning there is one eye that is being weaker. By right, our eye should function similarly and should be able to perceive image at our sharpest view, right? But in some kids where they have power, or maybe they have a certain eye diseases where it's not being treated, it will lead to lazy eye, and this is actually very common, especially when they're younger. And the golden period to treat lazy eye is actually before the age of 9, so that we can do the necessary treatment. So lazy eye is caused by a certain underlying eye diseases, or when their power in the eye is not being fully corrected at the right time. So parents have to take note, as long as your kids is suffering from a certain eye problems, or is diagnosed with a certain eye power, you have to make sure that they are being treated, they are wearing the necessary prescribed glasses, and they should be doing a certain therapy advised by the doctors or the optometrists.
Okay, thank you, Miss Carmen. Let's see. There's one more here. Do you mind to share either the special lens that optical shops suggest to work for short-sightedness? Does she mean?
This special lens, is it mean for the contact lenses, or for the glasses, the spectacles?
I think she means like the special lens work for short-sightedness.
I think I will explain both as well. If
All
let's say
right.
we talk about like the hard lens, the contact lens, what we call the auto care lenses, actually that is a special lenses. It's a rigid type of lenses. Normally we put on top of the eyes during sleeping times. So hopefully that after putting the contact lens, right, after we remove on the next day, the front part of the cornea will be flattened. So it will like controlling some of the power. And for another type is the spectacles. Means a lot of optical shop, I think they are prescribing this kind of the glasses for those kid having like very fast progression in their myopia. myopia. Normally, the glasses that like have a different power progressions. The distance is exact power, the full power, and at the bottom part, right, will be reducing power. So the purpose of reducing power at the bottom part, right, is to relax their eye muscle when they are doing their near work. So actually, both also good. We depending on the compliance of the patients. Like just now, Carmen also shared that contact lenses. The patient must know how to take care of the hygiene because the risk and complications is also impactful to the eye.
Thank you so much, Miss Elaine. I think, let's see. I think that's the last of them. Oh, there's one here from Grace. My kid's left eye sometimes will squint if they're looking at something far away. Is this a symptom of lazy eyes?
I think there are also some misconception about lazy eye and also screen eye, or what we know as cross eye. So some kids, if we notice, their eyes tend to deviate outwards or inwards at a certain angle or at a certain period of time. That is because they might be suffering from the misalignment of their eye, and it's usually due to the muscle of the eye. So in this case, it is not known as a lazy eye. It will lead to lazy eye, but this is not lazy eye. So you have to bring them to see the eye specialist to see what is the problem with their eye muscle so that we can get it treated. Some kids might be having this for consistently at every single point of time, but some kids might be having it only when they are tired or when they are not feeling so well or when they're out of focus. So we have to take note of all these symptoms, and we have to listen to the doctor's advices on what kind of treatment is suitable for them.
Got it. Okay, let's take a look. Yep, that's definitely the last of them. Thank you for your questions, viewers, and I hope you've taken away several helpful key points from our amazing Vista optometries. We will be wrapping up our session here. Thank you again for your time, Miss Carmen and Miss Elaine.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
Thank
you.
you, and of course,
Pleasure.
thank you to our viewers for being with us today. Stay safe, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, thank you. And stay safe.